In this video, I will undertake townscape analysis on the City of Oxford. My route begins on George Street, turning right onto New Inn Hall Street, left onto St Michael's Street before arriving on Cornmarket Street. Continue through to Ship Street before turning right onto Tell Street, left onto Brasenose Lane, through Radcliffe Square, onto Cattle Street, then right onto Holywell Street, finishing at the junction with Mansfield Road. George Street is characterised by a modern bus route, popular chain restaurants, and by a uniform colour scheme and facade fluctuations, with subtle protrusions and alternating gables making for an interesting street scene. The tree in the distance works to screen the vista and deflect the view. Progressing down the road, one can observe the contrast between private and public frontage, as the painted and the texturally intricate facade of the Crisis Skylight Cafe contrasts with the bland side section of the Odeon Cinema. Turning onto New Inn Hall Street, one can observe that pavements have been reduced to road level, reflecting the low flow of traffic through the street, making for a more fluid pedestrian environment than seen on George Street. An awareness of here and there is created with the view of Westgate Shopping Centre in the distance. The street contains relatively uniform window and roof lines, with the church providing a point of punctuation. Onto St Michael's Street, and a much greater variation in colour and roof line can be observed. Interest is generated by the incident of the blue plaque to the left. Further down St Michael's, texture and colour variations become more noticeable, with protrusions, balconies and greenery diversifying the street scene. To the right is an intriguing portion of historic architecture, which acts as an incident and a point of entanglement as it deviates wildly from the streets. Continuing down St Michael's, contrast between public and private space can be seen, with the simplistic fencing and greenery providing ample privacy for private space, whilst the intricate frontage of the buildings on the left confirms their status as public space. The view at the end of St Michael's looking out onto Cornmarket Street. Here we can see that different materials are used to define the pedestrianised Cornmarket Street from St Michael's. Alternating materials make for a highly legible movement environment. Cutting through Cornmarket Street, we can again see how the pedestrianised area is segregated by another change in material on Ship Street. The view of Ship Street presents a here and there, with the striking tower of Exeter College providing a grand vista which frames the street and creates drama and excitement by snatching the attention. Continue down Ship Street to find a cafe with occupied space for seating and varying overhangs on this side, as opposed to the more uniform frontage of buildings on the right. Here, a concentration of parked bikes provides punctuation, whilst the dominant Exeter College Tower continues to be a mighty presence. At the end of Ship Street, the sharp corners restrict the view into Tell Street, creating anticipation and mystery. Moving on to Tell Street, the sharp corner reveals the surprise of the depth of the here-ness and there-ness, with another eye-catching spire, deflected corner, and dark enclosure generating mystery and intrigue. To the left, the small scale of Brasenose Lane provides a contrast to Tell Street's grand sense of there-ness. The deflection and contrasting texture of the grey brick sparks interest. Coming off Tell Street into Brasenose Lane, one is greeted by a screened vista, with the tree blocking the view of the street, prompting us to explore further. The winding structure of the lane contributes to the deflection of the tree, to subtly add to the screening of the vista, which is revealed slightly. This teasing revelation provokes advancement down the lane, as the grand vista contrasts so vividly with the comparative dullness and enclosure of Brasenose Lane. Like on Ship Street, the right-angled corners at the conclusion of Brasenose Lane further screens the vista and increases the feeling of excitement as to what may be round the corner. Looking out onto Radcliffe Square, one is not disappointed. The previously hidden Radcliffe camera bursts onto the scene, providing a unique punctuation. Looking around the square, the feeling is that of stumbling onto something truly spectacular and historic. The grand vista that surrounds us, and those screened by the camera, heighten the drama and invite us to explore the square, with the stunning openness providing a stark contrast to the enclosure of Brasenose Lane. Progressing down Cattle Street, a stark here and there forms. Here, we are in historic Oxford, with its grand vistas, intricate architecture and quaint street furniture, whereas there represents modern Oxford, with modern roads, traffic lights and lampposts providing an intriguing view. Onto Holywell Street, and the street scene diversifies again, with a uniform window pattern, alternating roof lines and a prominent frontage inversion. Further on Holywell Street, a striking black and white property which protrudes from the street demands attention as it departs from the pastel colour theme and acts as a punctuation. Panning onto Mansfield Road, the cottage-like style of roofing and windows adds another twist in style and the beginning of another new experience. To conclude, Oxford has an incredibly diverse urban environment where modern and historic features combine to form a truly stunning and unique townscape, giving Oxford an unmistakable sense of place. This assignment has alerted me to the importance of viewing block structures and building composition as a method of enriching the experience people have in an area. I will use Cullen's concepts to help me to construct an urban environment that has a sense of place.